In Section 4, we'll talk about penalty relief under Rules 17 through 19, and we'll look at taking relief from penalty areas, stroke and distance relief, lost ball, out of bounds, and provisional ball, as well as taking unplayable ball relief. Penalty areas. Penalty areas are areas of the course where you often can't find your ball, and you may not be able to play your ball even if you find it. Any body of water on the course is considered a penalty area, even if it doesn't contain water at the time. Some common examples are lakes and ponds and rivers. Even drainage ditches or other features meant to carry water would be a penalty area. Other areas of the course may also be considered penalty areas by the committee. Some examples of these areas that a committee may define as penalty area includes deserts, jungles, lava fields, or simply unmaintained natural areas of the course. Penalty areas should be marked, and the committee may use stakes, painted lines, or physical features to define the boundary of a penalty area. The markings not only help the player locate the penalty area and define the boundary, but they're also used to let the player know the number of relief options. When a penalty area is defined by stakes, the boundary of the penalty area is defined by a straight line from stake to stake at ground level on the general area side of the stakes. The stakes themselves are in the penalty area. When painted lines are used, the boundary is the general area side of the painted line, and the entire line is in the penalty area. When the penalty area is defined by physical features, such as a fence, retaining wall, desert area, the committee will specify how the boundary is defined, and this information will typically be available in the local rules or posted on a scorecard. There are two types of penalty areas, yellow and red. Yellow penalty areas have two options for penalty relief, and red penalty areas have an additional third option. If a color isn't indicated for a penalty area, it's treated as being marked as red. You're allowed to take penalty area relief when your ball is in the penalty area, or if you can't find your ball, when you have knowledge or virtual certainty that the ball is in the penalty area. To have knowledge or virtual certainty, you need to have conclusive evidence that the ball is in the penalty area. For example, someone saw it roll into the pond, or it needs to be 95% more likely that the ball is in the penalty area. An example of this could be you hit your ball down the middle of the fairway, didn't realize there was a creek that runs across the fairway. You get to where your ball should be, there's no rough between the fairway and the creek, and you can't find your ball. The only reasonable place it could be is in the creek. In that case, you would have virtual certainty, even though there's a small chance that the ball may have bounced off a rock and ended up somewhere else. You have virtual certainty that your ball is in the penalty area in that case. Here we have a video talking about penalty area.
The 2019 rules introduce the term penalty area, which includes areas previously known as water hazards. If you find your ball in a penalty area and want to play it from there, the same rules apply as when playing a ball from the fairway or the rough. So before making a stroke, you are allowed to move loose impediments, make practice swings that touch the ground or any water inside the penalty area, and ground your club near your ball.
Okay, when taking relief from a yellow penalty area, you have two options, as mentioned before. Your first option is to take stroke and distance relief by playing your next stroke from where the previous stroke was made. And your second option is to take back on the line relief in an area based on a reference line straight back from the hole through the point where the ball last crossed the edge of the penalty area. The reference point for the relief area will be a chosen spot on the reference line, and the relief area will be one club length from that point, no closer to the hole than the reference point. For this relief option, the relief area can be in any area of the course except the same penalty area. For red penalty areas, there's an additional third option to take lateral relief. The reference point for lateral relief is the point where the ball last crossed the edge of the penalty area, and the relief area is 2 club lengths from the reference point, no closer to the hole than the reference point. If the ball comes to rest out of bounds, or if you lose your ball, you're required to take stroke and distance relief by playing from where the previous stroke was made. Searching for the ball. You're allowed 3 minutes to search for your ball, and if your search is interrupted for a good reason, the interruption time does not count against the 3-minute limit. If you play a shot and you think the ball might end up out of bounds or that you may not be able to find it, you're allowed to play a provisional ball. If you choose to play a provisional ball, there's one important thing that you must do first. You need to announce that you're going to play a provisional ball by saying the word provisional or by clearly indicating that the next ball you're playing is a provisional ball. Some examples of clearly indicating that you're playing a provisional ball are: I'm playing a provisional ball, I'm playing a ball under Rule 18.3, or I'm going to play another one just in case. Some examples that do not clearly indicate that you're playing a provisional ball is: I'm going to reload, I'm going to play another, or making no announcement at all. If we did play a provisional ball, we need to know what the circumstances are for when we need to abandon that provisional ball. So if the ball was found within the 3-minute search time, you'll abandon the ball and play the original ball. And if you played a provisional ball and it becomes known or virtually certain that the original ball is in a penalty area, again, in that case, you'll abandon the provisional ball and proceed under the penalty area rule. So when is your ball out of bounds? When out of bounds is defined by stakes or a fence, the boundary defining out of bounds is a straight line between the course side edge of the stakes or fence posts at ground level. When out of bounds is defined by a painted line, the course side edge of the line is the boundary that defines out of bounds. The stakes and fence posts or the painted line in these cases are all out of bounds, and if any part of the ball touches the course, then your ball is considered to be inbounds. And the last rule we'll talk about here is unplayable ball. So you can choose to take unplayable ball relief when your ball is anywhere on the course except when the ball is in the penalty area. If your ball is in the penalty area, you must follow the penalty area relief options, and the player is the only person who can determine if a ball is unplayable. The relief options for unplayable ball are similar to the penalty area relief options. Option 1 is a stroke and distance relief option, where you'll play from where you made your last stroke. Option 2 is the back on the line relief option. The reference line will go straight back from the hole through the spot of the original ball. The reference point is a chosen point on the reference line, and the relief area is 1 club length from the reference point, no closer to the hole than the reference point, and the relief area can be in any area of the course. And option 3 is the lateral relief option. The reference point for this option is the spot of the ball, and the relief area is 2 club lengths, no closer to the hole than the reference point, and again can be in any area of the course. All 3 of these options are available for a penalty of 1 stroke. And for unplayable ball relief in a bunker, you have the same 1-stroke penalty options that are available in the general area, with the restriction that the relief area must also be in the bunker. But as an additional option for unplayable ball relief in a bunker, the rules do allow you to take back on the line relief outside the bunker for a total of 2 penalty strokes. The relief area is, in this case, is the same as the back on the line relief area for taking relief in the general area. And that concludes section 4. Are there any questions?